welcome back to my channel. I'm super happy that you're here today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Elizabeth, aka Foxgrove, and I make cozy gaming content here on my channel centered around Animal Crossing New Horizons, PC, and Nintendo Switch accessories. But today, if you already saw the thumbnail, we are doing a Spirited Away inspired build. I'm gonna try to recreate the bathhouse, which is such an iconic part of the movie, and honestly I feel like the pressure kind of got to me because this build was so challenging. So I went ahead and threw on my no face shirt today just to give myself a little bit of energy to finish this build. Seriously guys, I'm not exaggerating, this one gave me a run for my money. But before we get too far into this video, I actually gave my Nintendo Switch a little facelift recently, and I thought I would share some of these adorable accessories with you guys here today. So here is my Nintendo Switch. So first I have this soft touch case here, and it has a few different colors. It's kind of like a color block vibe. So we have this white and light kind of minty green on the back, and the front is this gorgeous kind of brown mauve color, which I love so much. You can see the original color of the Joy-Cons peeking through, but I think that's pretty much the same for any other hard case that you would get. But I love the feeling of this one. It's just so soft and really cozy to hold when you're playing. I also added in these little cat paw thumb grips. These actually come in a set of two, so there's a darker brown and a lighter brown color here, but I went ahead and just threw on one of each because I thought the kind of mismatch was super cute. They were also kind enough to send over this gorgeous cat case. How cute is this? I love it so much, and it honestly matches so well with this Switch cover as well, or Switch case, not a Switch cover, but it is so precious, and the details on this bag, can we talk about it for a second? It's so funny to me. Also, the zipper of this bag has a little cattail if the camera would focus. Seriously, so cute. But there is so much space in the inside of this bag. You have these little slots here to put your game cards. I don't have a ton of physical copies of games, so honestly this kind of inspired me to get a few more of them. But underneath here is actually where your Switch will go, and then you have a pretty large zipper mesh pocket here that you can easily put a charger, extra Joy-Cons, or anything else. It's not really quite big enough to fit a second Switch, although I don't have a Switch Lite to try, but I wonder if the Switch Lite might fit in here, although my gut instinct is that it probably doesn't. But I do like having that kind of secure little area for any Switch accessories that you might have. I love this bag. It is kind of a mix between a hard and a soft case, so I feel like it is both like cozy and soft to touch, but also going to be durable enough to protect your device and do what it's supposed to do. Also, it just makes for really cute desk decor. Look at how cute it is back there. I just love it so much. But if you're interested in picking up any of these Geekshare accessories today, there is a link in the description box so that you can get a little monies off of your first purchase. Thank you so much to Geekshare for kindly gifting me these products. I am so happy with them. And without further ado, let's jump into the speed build. All right, here we are on the island. So I actually started to work on this in stream a little bit, and this is kind of what we ended up with in general in terms of the staircase and a little bit of terraforming. I went ahead and searched for a wood plank design. I'm gonna do my best to make sure that all of these codes are in my Pinterest. I think I'm gonna start saving codes there for you guys. So go ahead and check out my Pinterest. It's linked in the description box if you're interested in using any of the codes that you'll see me use here in this build. But I did start out by placing my resident rep's house here. I was thinking about using that as the base for the bathhouse, so I did customize it with this green roof, and here's what we ended with at the end of the stream. I really honestly hated it so much, so I tore it all down, and I did a lot of searching online to try to get some inspiration because I really wasn't loving the house as a base. I felt like it looked kind of unnatural and didn't blend with everything super well, and I came across this post. I'll put it on the screen for you guys, by Horriblegaming, aka Nora. She does have a YouTube channel as well. She's an absolutely amazing designer, and she decorates in lots and lots of different styles, and I saw this shrine build that she did. I don't know how long ago this post was, but it was so gorgeous. I love the way that she incorporated the medieval building sides as kind of a little bit of roofing and dimension, and so I did use the same codes that she used, and I used that as kind of the general structure for this build. I am just so happy that I stumbled across that because I was so incredibly stuck on this one. Like honestly, I almost gave up, but I felt like I just had to try. So I'm glad that I stuck it out because I am really happy with the result. I wanted to place the oil barrels tucked behind some of the items here to give it that bathhouse effect. I wasn't sure if it was going to really translate to the end of the build, but I figured I would try. I feel like in the movie, the bathhouse does have a little bit of smoke or steam, I guess it is, that's coming off of it. I also switched out those Zen kind of lanterns out for just the curved street lights. I like the kind of like sleekness of it. I feel like it's a very clean kind of look and design. And then now I'm just placing the simple panels. Originally I was thinking about just doing this red simple panel design with the doors in the middle, but you'll see here in a little bit I actually do put in that white code. It just adds in a little bit more dimension into the build, a little bit more visual interest. These codes are so perfect. I love them so much. I'm so happy that I was able to stumble upon them. They seriously saved the build yet again. Incredible. But yeah, at this point, I honestly still wasn't sure how everything was going to come together, but yeah, that's the code I'm going to end up putting back here in a little bit. Honestly though, finding the right simple panel design in your inventory is so incredibly difficult. I need to find a better way to organize my inventory, although I do feel like even if I had a better way, I wouldn't do it. So yeah, I don't even know if there's any help left for me. Then I'm just placing this Tory in front of the building. And yeah, at this point, I didn't realize that this entire build is actually crooked. I don't know if you guys saw that in that pan down. I totally didn't notice until I got completely done with the build. So yeah, spoiler alert, I do end up having to tear all of this down for a second time just to shift it all over one tile because it is not in line with the bridge. It was just one of those builds, you guys, honestly. So now I'm trying to map out how to do the top of the build. I wasn't sure how this was going to look with the simple panels just peeking out a tiny little bit. Then I realized that I should place the Tory behind the medieval building side as well, just to give it a little bit more height and dimension. And I love this because it actually shifts the simple panels back a tile, which allows you to actually see them better from the ground area below. I'm throwing in the oil barrel here and another pagoda just to kind of finish off the building. I was a little bit not happy with this part of the build because I really wanted the simple panels to be able to be kind of like tucked behind the pagoda more so that they blended in and looked more natural. But as you can see with the space that I've got going on here, it's really not possible. So with the medieval building sides behind it though, I feel like it blends super well. I'm honestly realizing that I haven't done a single simple panel build since the 2.0 update came out. Let me know, are you guys still doing simple panel builds, or have you been decorating kind of with the storefronts and the castle items? I'm really interested to hear because yeah, I really have changed my style of decorating a lot since the update. Yeah, so that's just kind of interesting. But yeah, as you can see, the medieval building side is really tying this all together. Without this item, I feel like this build would end up looking really kind of sparse and weird. So here I am realizing that it's all one tile over. I swear to God, I almost gave up again. It was seriously horrible, but then I go ahead and fix it. I took all of that off camera for you guys because I figured you didn't need to see it, but there it is. Impulsively, after I finished the kind of outline of the build, I decided to make this an island. I feel like it's an island in the movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's so much water surrounding the bathhouse, and it's just, that's a big part of the motif of the movie is the Kohaku River and just everything being really flooded around the bathhouse. So I went to town and I got super carried away terraforming. Honestly, I got ridiculously carried away. I think I created way too much water in this part of the island. So I might have to kind of scale myself back a little bit later, but we'll just see how it goes. In my mind, I was thinking about doing the boat that the spirits get off of in the movie over to the right, so I kind of wanted there to be a lot of water over there, and then there's some space immediately behind this to do like a train station build. So honestly, in the terraforming, I just kind of like zoned out for a second, and then I got so many ideas for future things to do on this island. So I don't know, sometimes terraforming is kind of like very zen and all of the ideas kind of flow to you at that time. I went ahead and grabbed a few items just to sort of decorate around the bathhouse itself. I love these dog lion statues. I feel like it really just ties everything together. But for this upper area, I didn't really do anything too crazy with the decorating. I just wanted to throw in some wheat fields, weeds, custom designs, flowers. I wanted it to be really natural and overgrown, and I wanted the actual building itself to be the focal point for sure. So nothing too crazy happening up here, just kind of filling in some space. So in the original photo of the actual bathhouse from the movie, there's this giant utility pole that's actually on the other side of the build. It's over on the left, but I wanted to kind of incorporate that somewhere here on this build. Then I ended up getting myself tragically stuck, and I had to call rescue services and drop me off to the plaza. After I was rescued, I started to work on the area behind the build a little bit. Honestly, from the front, you can tell that it looks really sparse. So I wanted to use some items to make this feel really lush, and I feel like that's because I created an island in the back, and usually I kind of rely on using lots of trees behind a build to make it appear really full. So this was a little bit of a challenge to have this be like a small island. I am glad that I made it an island though. I feel like in the end, when I finally do finish the terraforming, it's going to come together really nicely. Yeah, you can see that it's pretty unfinished here in the back. Do you ever do your hair sometimes and then you just kind of like, you know what, the back of it's none of my business? That's kind of the motto that I had with this build. Eventually I'll fix it and make it prettier, but honestly the back of it is none of my business right now. It's not my problem and I'm not worrying about it just yet. Honestly though, I'm loving the evergreen ash and the schiffolera plant for filling in spaces like this. It's just a top-notch item for that. So if you're not using that just to kind of fill in and make some greenery in your build, I highly recommend that you try that, because I feel like it just made the biggest difference in this build. Also, using the fencing here, I wasn't super sure about that, but it does a really great job kind of masking the cliff behind. I was really confused why it sometimes lets me push it in, but then see, it ended up going where I wanted it to go in the first place. I don't know. I don't always understand the grid system in this game. Like, I feel it should be very straightforward, but the sizes of items sometimes just really mess with me. Didn't do anything crazy back here on the side. I feel like it's in an area that people don't really see. So when that's the case, I tend to just kind of plop, custom designs, flowers, bushes, the works into the area to give it a little bit of fullness. But yeah, here we are walking up to the finished build. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up this speed build. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm really pleased with the way that everything came together in the end, and I'm honestly sort of relieved because I really wasn't sure if this build was going to work out or not, and I'm really excited actually to work on some of the areas around this build. It helped me to feel really, really inspired about this island, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed it too. Definitely let me know in the comments below. Before we say goodbye, I do want to thank our channel members. Thank you all so much for supporting my work here on this channel. If you enjoyed the video today, please do consider liking and subscribing and hitting that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I upload. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye! Beansy, what'd you think of the speed build today? It was a good one? Would you take a bath at that bathhouse?